Hello and welcome back. I'm Midnight Rambler, and today I want to show you how to realistically destroy an SA-10 site with an F-18 Hornet in DCS. You probably have seen many videos on seed suppression of enemy air defense and deed destruction of enemy air defense that often involve using HARMs, high-speed anti-radiation missiles. However, these videos often assume that the SA-10 crew is incompetent and that the SA-10 radar remains on even when a harm is incoming. Moreover, these videos usually assume that the exact location of that SA-10 site is known. Both of these assumptions are not very realistic. In my video, I want to show you a more realistic approach. Here's my situation. I know there's a SA-10 site on Kashem Island, but I don't know its exact position. I'm located near Kashab. My loadout includes 3 TALs, tactical air launch decoys, 6 GPS-guided GBU-38 bombs, 1 FLIR pod, forward-looking infrared pod, and 1 AMRAAM, advanced medium-range air-to-air missile. And here's my tactic. Instead of launching HARMs from a long distance, which would be best suppressing the SA-10 site, I use the TALs to locate the exact position of the SA-10 site. Then I utilize my GBU-38 bombs in loft mode, so low altitude forward throw mode, to precisely destroy the site without endangering myself. To do this, I need to approach the SA-10 site in a very low altitude to avoid being detected by the SA-10 radar. Now I will demonstrate you step by step how this approach works. So let's get started. Okay, let's go. First of all, I will switch my MFDs to day mode. Check mast arm is on, air to ground mode. And then I will switch the right MFD to early warning display and unbox the HUD so that I can declutter my HUD. Then I will configure my ALE-47 dispenser to semi-automatic 1. I will do everything with these two MFDs so that you can see everything I do without, so that I don't have to use the third MFD. But I need to activate the music, so music on, jammer on XMID, and I need to configure the radar altimeter to 10 feet above ground. On the RWR, I can see the Big Bird radar here at 11 o'clock. So this is the direction I need to fly to shoot the decoys in the correct direction. And I have my waypoint number 2 directly on Kashab Island. I repeat, not on the SA-10 location, but on the island itself, on the target area. I select my bombs and I go here with the autopilot in the barometric altitude hold mode so that I can configure here my bombs and explain at the same time. So I need to change all my bombs to the target of opportunity mode, which I'm doing right now, and I set the E-fuse to instant, so the bombs blow up, explode directly after hitting the target. I click here on JDM display, and I can configure the release type already, and I say release type auto loft mode 15 degrees. Okay, that's all for now with configuring the bombs. So I change now to the talls, to the decoys. Nothing to configure here, they are ready now. And I switch on the second MFD to situational awareness display, and I choose waypoint 2. And now I can either use autopilot couple, okay, let's do it, why not, and barometric altitude hold mode, and then I will fly automatically towards Kashem Island. I changed the altimeter to radar mode, and I'm gonna set myself a bingo of value of 4,000, just to be on the safe side. I reduce the brightness a little bit so that I can read it better. I have 53 miles now to waypoint 2. Again, waypoint 2 is somewhere on Kashem Island, and I will utilize this information to decide when to launch my talls. Now I'm heading directly towards Kashem Island, and I will shoot release the decoys at around about 45 miles. So double check master arm on to ground mode, decoys are selected. .46 miles. And now I release the 3 talls. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now the decoys will fly directly to the Kashem Island direction. And the SA-10 site on Kashem Island will attack these talls. And when the SA-10 site here on Kashem Island is firing on the talls, then I can see the smoke from the SA-10 missiles which are coming up. I can see it, and so I can get the exact location. So what I need to do now is I will break down, go under the clouds, and I will position myself in a way that the Kashem Island is on my left side, so that the targeting pod, which is mounted on the left side of the Hornet, can look in the direction to Kashem Island. Alright, let's do this. go down here. Not too much, just under the clouds. Here I can activate the barometric altitude hold. I switch the right MFD to FLIR and left MFD to situational awareness, and now I designate waypoint 2 as target. And I do this because now the FLIR pod looks already in the right direction. Not exactly on the target, but it looks on Kashem Island. Okay, this is helpful, so I don't need to slave the targeting pod manually there. Now I activate infrared mode on the FLIR pod, and here now I get a spike, a mud spike. So you can see here SAM site has locked me, and so the SA-10 site can lock more than one target simultaneously. So I think they will now shoot on the decoys. So I need to make sure that I get a clear picture, a view on the scene. So I need to navigate here the Hornet. So here I see the waypoint 2. One more time, this is not the target location, it's just waypoint 2, and I know this is Kashem Island, that's all. Now I want to see if there are any smoke traces. And so I will activate this MFD. I will make it soy so that I can move the targeting pod. I needed to undesignate the target, which I have designated before, waypoint 2. I undesignated it, and now I can move this pod freely. And here you see smoke traces. So here has the here is the SA-10 site. Now I need to zoom in and find the exact position. Again, I'm locked by the SA-10 site, but this is not a big problem at the moment. Here I need now to find visually the radar units, devices. Here is one, here is one, and here is one. This needs some practice, but if you do it again and again, you will get very good in this. It's normal in the beginning that you may not be able to see the radar dishes right away, but here on the SA-10 side it's easier because it's very, I would say it's very easy to see this radar devices. Okay, what I need to do now is I need to designate the radar device, and I will store it then as a mark point. And I will do this for each radar device. So for this one, and for this one. So I will create 3 mark points, and I will do this now. I designate it, and then I save it as mark point. Target designate, mark point. Target designate, mark point. Okay, now we can fly opposite direction. I will fly towards Kashab again. To make some distance between my Hornet and the SA-10 site. What I have done is, so far, is I have saved the 3 radar devices as mark points. Now I want to configure the bombs with the coordinates of these mark points. So here I go to stores, select the bombs. Click on display JDAM and go to mission. Then the right MFD, I open the HSI and I click on data and I select M1 for the first mark point. And what I do now, and what I can suggest, is that you cycle. Let me go here to barometric altitude hold. You can now cycle mark point 1. Remember, check these coordinates. Mark point 2, check these coordinates, and mark point 3. And they should, of course, be 3 different coordinates. Then you know you have not made any mistake by saving these mark points, by saving the targets to your mark points. What I do now is I will go here to HSI, select mark point 1 and say weapon designate. Now the first bomb has the coordinates of the target which was saved on mark point 1. Click here on step, so for the next bomb, select mark point 2 and say weapon designate, waypoint designate, sorry. And here, now the coordinates of this bomb uses the coordinates which were saved on mark point 2. And now I click on step and I do this for the third target as well, or for the third bomb. Now all 3 bombs have target coordinates. Alright. I click on return and I click on quantity, and now I can select station 2, 3 and 8. I do this because I want to release all 3 bombs at the same time. Now something very important you need to know. If you select the quantity before you give every bomb a coordinate, then you will drop all selected stations or all selected bombs on the same target. And another important thing is, if I would now accidentally designate any point as a target with the FLIR pod, for example, or with the waypoint designate button on the HSI or SA screen, then all 3 bombs would have those coordinates. So, in other words, it's very important, after you have given all 3 bombs coordinates and selected then all the stations, then it is for you a no-go to designate any other target. Yeah. So hope this makes sense. But this is very, very, very important. Otherwise you will drop all bombs on the same target. Okay, now I need to attack the SA-10 site. And for this I need to fly there super low, beyond 70 feet above ground, so that the SA-10 site is not able to lock me up with the radar. So I will go down here and then fly with high speed directly to the SA-10 site. So, and now I will activate radar altitude hold mode. I'm too high, a little bit down. Again, too high. Alright, this is fine. So, let me pause for a second. We have 60, I have now configured radar altitude hold mode for 60 feet above ground. This is good because now the SA-10 site is not able to lock me up. And now I fly directly to the SA-10 site, to the saved targets. I don't need to do anything more, all is configured. And if I'm near enough to the target, I will do here I have a timer, and if this timer is coming near to 0, I can release my bombs in the loft up mode of 15 degrees. And so I will do the loft up in the very last seconds. And then I need to do a very, very shallow turn so that after I came up for the loft up release, the SA-10 site will be able to lock me. So I need to come down then in a very shallow turn quickly as possible. Okay, hopefully I can show you or demonstrate this. Let's do it. Always check the altitude. Of course, I have confidence to the autopilot, but it's always good to double check, right? 1 minute 47 to release. The goal is to be very low above ground and very fast. The faster you are, the more the bombs will fly forward after release. They make more distance if you are faster because of the kinetic energy the bomb has at the point of release. "10 miles to the target, 34 seconds to release." Now I go on full burner. 20 seconds, I disable autopilot. Seconds. 8, 7, 6. Now I come up with the loft up maneuver. 15 degrees. I keep it pressed, and here we go. And now do a really fast and shallow as possible dive. Of course, I used chaff and flare. Come down, come down, come down. Okay, now I'm safe. And here, once I've hit target. But we check this video BDA visually, of course. We want to do it realistically, right? I don't need the speed now anymore, so I can reduce speed. Fly direction, cash up, make some space between myself and the SA-10 sight. And I'm 530 feet above ground at the moment, so SA-10 sight must be destroyed, the radars must be destroyed or heavily damaged, otherwise they would already lock me up. Okay, now I want to see what and if I have hit, and I do this the following way. I switch one screen to FLIR, and I designate mark point 1 as target. My FLIR pod will automatically look to mark point 1. Now I just need to bring myself in a position that the FLIR pod is able to do this. This looks good, but here the radar is still active, I would say. Okay, so then designated mark point 4. Okay, I need to do this again. I'm not sure that I have done it correctly. Designate mark point 5. And I can destroy 2 launchers. Designate mark point 6. Target designate mark point 7. So 5, 6, 7 are my new targets now. I will do again attack on all of them at the same time. And I will again use loft up, but not from very low altitude. But keep in mind what I have told you. The bombs are configured wrong at the moment. So I need to go to stores. And I need to go to JDAM display. Unselect all stations. Return, go to mission, select here on the right side, mark point 5, designate, step, mark point 6, designate, step, mark point 7, designate. Now click on return, quantity, and now you can select the stations. All is configured now for another run-in for the second attack. So here we go. I need to fly towards the target. One minute 25 to release. I fly manually without autopilot at the moment. 15.6 to target. Miles, of course. .27 to release. And I go full burner. And loft up. And bombs away. Again, jet flare.
Flight control. Flight control.
Away from the target. Fly away from the target. I have no more bombs if I have done everything correctly. Yes, that's the way it is. So master arm safe, and I designate waypoint 7 and switch to FLIR to do a BDA. No hits. Now we have something. Oh, this was too far away from the target. All right. So, as you can see, it is very important to designate and save the target position as accurate as possible. So when you're moving the FLIR pod to the target, do this as accurate as possible, then designate it and then save it to a mark point. If you do it more precisely than me in this demonstration, you will get better hits. I hope this was helpful for you if you want to do a realistic attack on a SA-10 site or other SAM sites. The loft-up maneuver is always usable whenever you want to use your bombs, but you don't want to fly into the target area. So let's do a debriefing and check and take view. What has happened and if all was working as planned. Here I am, and here's Kashem Island, and here's the SA-10 site. And we have a lot of other units, but it doesn't matter at the moment. All right, so here I release the decoys and I position myself in a way that the target is on my left side. The SA-10 sight is tracking up the tolls and is trying to shoot these tolls down, and they use a lot of ammunition for it, which is in DCS not so much realistic, because you can shoot when you have a flight of more Hornets, then you can shoot a lot of tolls and release a lot of tolls, and then the SA-10 sight will shoot till it is Winchester, and then it needs to reload. The reload process for the SA-10 sight or for SAM sights is long, and at this time the SAM sight is not able to fire, so they will not hold missiles back to defend themselves. So again here, do it in a realistic way. Of course they would not shoot till they are Winchester without having any missile left for defending themselves. I think this is not the way. Anyway, so the trolls are down, but I was able to identify the location, configure my bombs, and I start the attack run. Be low and be fast. Now the lift-up maneuver is happening, and here do as shallow as possible and as quickly as possible. Turn away from the SA-10 side. You do not know what is all there to defend the SA-10 side. As these guys here, for example, or whatever, AAA or whatever. So you want to fly away from the SA-10 side, and you want to use chaff and flare. So see, and this is the key advantage for the loft up release. I'm flying already away from the target. Bombs, you have their kinetic energy from the time of release and fly straight forward to the target. And now let's see how accurate this first strike was. The bombs are accurate, but as I told you, you have to designate the targets very carefully. I want to hit this, this, and this target. Yeah, that's good. I'm happy with the outcome. So only this target here is not destroyed. These two targets are destroyed. All right, and then I do a BDA and check what is left, and I designate some more targets, as you have seen, and I come for the second attack run. Bombs away, and again fly away from the target. So here the bombs will now come in. Okay, so this was fine, and this one I designated not careful enough. All right, but I'm happy with the outcome, and I think this is fine for the demonstration purpose. And yeah, the SA-10 sight is down. When you fly with a friend, then the second plane can now drop cluster bombs, for example, or laser guided bombs or whatever from above Angels 15, so that you are safe from possible AAA or membeds.